You have power. The power to save lives. The power to defeat illnesses. The power to use games for good. You can be a hero for local sick and injured kids through Extra Life, a 24-hour gaming marathon that supports a local Children's Miracle Network hospital in your community. Join 50,000 gamers from all across the world as we battle the enemy, illnesses, and injuries facing local kids.
Play games, heal kids.
Find out more at extra-life.org.
Hey, nerds. We understand you. Drop those controllers. Lose the wizard hat. And ready your Cheetos. It's time for some hard-hitting talk about the movies, books, and games you love. So get ready, oh searcher of useless knowledge. It's time to step into the Geek Cave. Now, broadcasting from a top secret and totally awesome hidden base, I'm Ken Harris, and here's Darren Wright, Justin White, and Chad Savage.
Welcome to another world-changing edition. We promise we won't reboot it for a couple months. Geek Cave Podcast Comics. I'm Darren.
And I'm Chad.
That's right. Justin is still on vacation. Big thank you to our sponsor, Gamefly, with membership options for every budget, plus gifts for gamers of all ages. Gamefly has thousands of titles you can keep as long as you want, and then when you're done, just send it back in the postage-paid envelope for a new one, or keep it forever and pay a lot less than those in-store prices. Sign up for a free 30-day trial right now using the link at geekcavepodcast.com. Chad, how you doing?
So far, pretty good.
Yeah. It's been a summer. It's been a busy one for a lot of us.
It's been a bit, I think that schools really should be year-round because they set up this expectation that things get easier or things, cool off in terms of the calendar
right
during the summer.
Metaphorically
speaking. It's just not the case.
No.
It is just not the case. So, honestly, there should be more school in the summer. And then, and that way we can prepare our future generations for the realities of life.
Yeah. And Justin,
that's a joke. I'm just going to clarify to anyone listening.
You.
That's a joke.
Okay, good.
I'm not making any kind of statement other than a humorous, tongue firmly planted in cheek kind of
There's
joke.
some kids that listen, and they were about to be real mad. They were about to.
They'd be rightly so.
They were about to have some big feelings. Justin is, like I said, still enjoying some of his time off. We wish him well. We hope he comes back when he is refreshed and ready to go. In the meantime, what do you mean? Of course I can. I'm the goddamn Mr. Terrific.
Be gentle. Be gentle.
Be gentle.
Be gentle.
It's Darren's first time.
Motherfucker, I told you be gentle.
Welcome to Darren's First Time, where I pick the first issue of a comic or a one-run graphic novel, and I ask myself, are these circles or spheres? That's right. We're talking about Mr. Terrific #1.
All right.
The New 52 run by Eric Wallace, and boy, oh boy, I'm just going to come right out and say it, guys. I wanted to like this.
Well, he was the best new-ish character of and they finally did right by the actor who played Darwin in Marvel
X-Men First Class.
X-Men First Class, which was the stupidest death so far in any comic-based movie.
Yeah, I mean, they promised him we'll bring you back, and then they never did. So, he was great in Superman, and we'll get into that during the movie segment. But all right, and maybe this is because it's a New 52 book. But it was when I was looking for issue #1s to read, this came up, and I'm like, all right, I liked Mr. Terrific in Superman. I've liked him okay in Arrow. I liked him pretty good in Justice League Unlimited. I don't like him.
Oh, no?
In this comic.
Don't like his art portrayal, don't like his character, like his...
He's a bit of an ass.
Well, so he was in Superman as well.
That's true. I mean, let me back up. So, like, the issue starts like at a place called Dalton Technologies in London, and he's got a foot on each. If you don't know what the T-spheres are, they're these little spheres that can do pretty much whatever he wants. They're like MacGuffin machines, essentially. And so he's got one under each foot, and he's using them to kind of fly.
They are
through
the
air.
utility belt of
Yeah.
Mr. Terrific.
Yes, and so he's got one under each foot. He's using them to fly through the air. And the first page of issue 1 of Mr. Terrific. Now, where would I hide a 10-foot suit of biomechanical battle armor while, like, lasers are shooting at him? And, okay, it's positioning. And then he encounters, the bad guy, Miles Dalton, who attacks him with, like, this giant suit of armor. And it looks like it's one of those classic CEO builds himself a suit of armor, goes power hungry, da-da-da-da-da. So the fight breaks out over London. There's some quipping. There's some, like, I don't plan on dying today, Dalton. Plans change, you Yankee. Because, again, they're in England, right? And there's a cutaway to the crowd where, there's a bunch of people looking up and like, who's that? And looks like a space biker riding 3 snooker balls. And one lady's like, nice butt. Okay. They're pretty high up, but sure. And, of course, then he defeats the bad guy, saves the day. The people are like, what's your name, Mr. Terrific? He tells people, volunteers, that he's like the 3rd smartest man in the world. That's part of his introduction. Like, I'm Mr. Terrific. I'm the 3rd smartest man in the world. And immediately someone
Wonder who
asks,
the first 2 are.
Batman and Lex Luthor.
In that order?
Yes, in that order. So now you know.
That's canon?
That's canon.
This isn't my stupid question, but
Yeah.
that does beg, in what comics was this established as canon?
Infinite Crisis.
Infinite Crisis.
Yep.
Okay.
Because that's like the first comic I remember seeing Mr. Terrific in. Like, there's all of these, spirits from like different worlds that are doing battle, and so like Spectre, the literal like agent of God's vengeance, is there, and Mr. Terrific has worked alongside him and all that. And then, of course, he proudly proclaims, like, I don't believe in God. And like, all right, cool. You do you, whatever, right? And that comes back up in this. It's almost like any time there's a Mr. Terrific story, they need to remind you that he doesn't believe in God, which, okay, you don't have to be... Just like believers in a particular faith don't need to be annoying about it, neither do people who don't believe in anything need to be annoying about it.
Yeah.
And that's something that they drive home.
When that's your only personality.
That's your character right there, yeah. But anyway, then we did a flashback. We did a flashback to, like, why is Mr. Terrific the way he is? Well, he used to run a company, and when he was driving home from work one day, he sees a car crash, and it's his wife. And the paramedic is, like, working on her, and he's basically holding a wound with, like, 2 fingers. Putting pressure on it with 2 fingers. Not a big wound, right?
Not a big
car
wound.
wreck, 2 fingers, and he tells him, I can't save her. And there's, she's bleeding a little, but all right, so she's about to die. And her last words are,
Tiddlywinks.
Promise me you won't stop, ... Stop doing what? Promise me you won't stop educating the world like you did for me. Which is a bit ham-handed.
Quizzical facial expression.
Yeah. And then we cut to her funeral, and then he goes into the I don't believe in God. Now you know why. Da-da-da-da-da. He turns to science. Science ends up, inspiring him to become a superhero, so on and so forth. We're caught up. Now this is the New 52, which means that Power Girl is in a weird spot. And we encounter her alter ego, Karen Starr, hanging out at Mr. Terrific's apartment. She's only in a T-shirt. He's only in sleep pants, but they're just friends.
Sure.
He invites her to like this fancy shindig that's going to be going down later. It's a fundraiser for a politician who's like the complete opposite of what Mr. Terrific believes in. But like, hey, the guy funds science, so he's okay with me. We get introduced to the B plot at this point when a dude at a diner just randomly hears this high-pitched noise and then is really rude to one of the waitstaff and beats a homeless guy to death.
Huh.
Yeah, and then starts writing down all these weird fractions. And so the police are like, all right, well, this guy does math, so we need to call Mr. Terrific.
Sorry.
No.
This guy's a real math head.
Yeah.
He's tweaking out. We probably ought to.
There's integers and all that. But no, seriously, they tell Mr. Terrific that's why they called him in. He was writing down sciencey gibberish and equations, and we're like, we don't know what to do with it, so we call in Mr. Terrific, who basically is like, you did the right thing. But he doesn't know what caused the man to go nuts. So, he knows the guy's mind has been altered.
Too much math, man. Too much math.
I'm just going to read you verbatim here, though.
Oh, no.
Yeah. This kind of intelligence doesn't appear overnight. Add in the fact that successful brain transplants aren't possible given current 21st century technology, that leaves one very real possibility. His brain has been altered. Good thing I know better than to discount the impossible, says the man who refuses to believe in God. Otherwise, using a dimensional portal to access my own private sanctum would be a real conundrum.
Wow.
It's one word bubble.
That's one word
One.
bubble.
That's one coherent thought right there. We did a look at...
Well, it's one thought.
Yeah, we did a look at his sanctum. He's not really sure what caused the guy to flip out.
It's just buttholes everywhere.
Time to skip a little bit to the party where, not Power Girl has been invited. She's wearing a dress that has the window. But again, they're just friends. She even gets some dirty looks from a woman who I think we're supposed to infer that she's got some feelings for Mr. Terrific, but we don't know who this woman is. We've never seen her in the comic before. She just yells at Karen for being a rich white blonde girl at this party for a bunch of rich people.
Right.
Yeah, so that's fun. He meets with the politician, hears a high-pitched noise, and then proceeds to try to kill the politician, and that is where the issue ends with, by the way, the
Mr. Terrific tries to kill the politician?
Yeah.
But he just tries.
Well, the issue stops before he succeeds.
Okay.
But it's one of those where, he shakes the politician's hand, and just, like I said, some of the writing is so weird. Good to see you're enjoying yourself, Senator. I'm still baffled by your support of my campaign, Michael. I thought you were a liberal, pinko-loving atheist. You do know I'm Republican, right? Which, I know there are people that probably talk like that, but that felt weird. It just felt weird. But yeah, high-pitched noise. Michael, Mr. Terrific, Michael Holt is his real name, he just happens to have a device that generates earthquakes that he's showing the senator for some reason. And so he just turns on the earthquake machine, tries to kill everyone in the building, and tells the senator, I'm going to kill you. And then that's pretty much the end of issue 1.
Did this come out before or after Kingsman?
I don't know. It's New 52, though, so... I didn't like it.
No?
I didn't like it.
I can't tell by your facial expression and vocal tone
I'm sorry.
are really impassive.
And the art, man. I mean, I'm going to show Chad an image.
He can't show you. It's audio.
Look at that guy's face.
That's... How many times has he been hit?
Not any yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Poor fella.
And, Mr. Terrific's hairline changes drastically over the course of the issue. Karen changes drastically over the course of the issue. It feels like a rush job. And, I feel like it does the character a disservice. So, yeah, I can't even... I'm not even going to grade it. It's not... I didn't like it. Don't do this to yourself. So, this one came out in 2011.
Okay, so Kingsman might have taken the idea from Mr. Terrific.
Yeah. So, if you want to read it, you want to do that to yourself, you can find it on Hoopla. Don't be like me.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean, you get stinkers from time to time, right?
No, that's the nature of random.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's that. Chad.
Yeah.
What do you got for me?
Well, I read a couple things.
Okay. All right.
Still working through Lantern stuff, and I got a stupid question.
All right. Lay it on me.
And now it's time for Chad Savage's Stupid Question.
So the Lanterns, they used to be able to just use their rings.
Yeah.
And then at some point, they needed to give them all a weakness. So like Kyle Rayner, and after that, they had to charge their rings.
Yeah, they charge the ring 24
with
every 24 hours, something like that, yeah.
And they keep their lantern in a pocket dimension.
Yes.
But based on the number of people and how I see them utilizing their phones and so forth, suppose your ring runs out of juice before you get to your pocket dimension to charge. What happens?
I guess you just don't have powers?
Like ever again? Because it's not like you can take the dead ring to Oa.
No, yeah. I mean, it depends on where you are.
Can you use your ring from somebody else's lantern?
Yes.
Like in Hal call up, be like, yo,
hey, guy.
Guy. Not the guy to call. Hey, Kyle.
There you go. Yeah. Kyle, John, Jess, Joe. Literally anyone other than Guy.
Anyone other than Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner will make you pay for it.
He will.
He's like, hey, this is coming out of my supply. You owe me something
$20
for this.
$20. $20, Hal. Yeah, that actually has. I think that's come up a couple times in the comics where, they run out of juice and it's just. You're out of luck until you can get to your lantern. If it's in a pocket dimension, you better borrow someone's lantern. So, yeah. Good question, though.
What a weird situation.
It is, yeah. What else you got?
So, a while back, I watched a movie, The Old Guard. It was on Netflix. And I found out that it was based on a comic, graphic novel series.
Okay.
So I went and found the first volume of The Old Guard.
The Old Guard, all right.
So The Old Guard, a band of seemingly unkillable warriors, welcome a new member to their number, just as one of them betrays the group.
Of course. That's how it goes.
So it's this small group of people who, most of them, it seems, were soldiers or warriors in some culture or another. You got a couple of them from the Crusades and
right.
From ancient Near East, that kind of thing.
Minnesota Vikings, yeah.
Yeah. And if they die in battle, and then they get better.
So Highlander.
Okay. And it makes them impossible to kill. And I'm talking about people who have the tops of their heads blown off by bullets, and it just grows back eventually.
Okay.
And they're fine.
All right. Wolverine rules.
Wolverine rules. However, they're functionally immortal, but not literally immortal, because at some point the healing just stops working, and then they'll just die.
So Logan rules.
Okay. In this case, in this story, they know that if their secret of invulnerability or this unkillableness kind of gets out, then it's going to cause trouble for them. So they live in secrecy. As the leader is finding this newest member, because she died in Afghanistan, she's a Marine, and when one of them dies, everybody dreams of where that, kind of what that person saw.
Okay.
So they can help track down, because they got to have some hook for how are you going to know when there's more of you.
Sure, yeah. It's not like they got Cerebro.
So as the leader is going to track down this newest member, one of the other member betrays the whole group to basically a pharmaceutical med bro who wants the secret of immortality, and these guys can't die, which means that he can torture them all he wants in order to try to find the secret. And they do that a lot.
Oh boy.
So it's got really good artwork. It's got, a good, kind of a basic story, but well-told basic story. It is hyper violent.
Okay.
It's an interesting read, but I'm giving it a B for two reasons. One, some of the violence is gratuitous to the point of kind of questioning the moral center of the artist.
It gets into come on territory. Okay.
The other reason is you have a band of unkillable warriors. What are the stakes really? What are the stakes really? So, is it good? Yes, it is. Is it great? No, it's not.
Okay.
It might be worth it if you got the stomach for it. So.
Okay.
But, and I've started reading Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow because you recommended that.
I really like it, yeah.
Based on the post-credit sequence of Superman, which we'll talk about in a couple days. So there is that. And what was I was getting ready to read another thing. I'll remember later.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, cool. Yeah, I really like Woman of Tomorrow, so that's very good. All right, well, in that
I've
case,
liked the first couple issues of it.
It's really good. I really enjoyed it. It's a great run. Okay, well, in that case, oh man, I don't want to play that one.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Prepare yourself for Justin's Long Box. Yeah, baby. Extra long.
Welcome to my version of Justin's Long Box, where we take a deep dive into maybe some not-so-deep comic book characters. Although today we got a good one. Kinda. It depends on what run you're reading. Today we're looking at the least played character in the X-Men arcade game.
Dazzler?
Dazzler it is. Yes.
I'm proud of myself for knowing that.
Yeah. Someone who, this character was actually a joint venture between Marvel Comics and Casablanca Records.
Okay.
Which is a subsidiary of Universal Music Group, because they noticed that disco was popular, and they went to Marvel, and they're like, we want a disco superhero. And Marvel's like, hold my pen. Wait, give it back. I need that to write it. But just metaphorically. So the idea is, for those who have not been paying too much close attention to the X-Men, and Dazzler has only appeared in like a couple of X-Men things. Her name's Allison Blair. She's a mutant with the ability to generate energy blasts based on sound. So like if you've got a really high-pitched noise, she can take that sound, absorb it, turn it into a laser shot, essentially.
Neat.
What does she do with this?
Mostly makes little flashy lights.
That's Jubilee. Jubilee does like the pyrotechnics, but Dazzler, yeah. I mean, in the X-Men arcade game, flashy lights. But
that's all I know Dazzler from.
That's fair. That's all a lot of people know her from. That and the one, like the animated pilot Pride of the X-Men, where Dazzler was. That's actually what the arcade game is based on. As my cat just like careens through the area.
Yeah,
he's having some fun.
He's very active today.
Yeah, he's got
the
those
other
zoomies.
one being very chill.
Yeah, but once she discovers her ability when she's performing at a school dance in high school, she takes the next logical conclusion that a high schooler would. I'm taking this show on the fucking road. And so she becomes a musician and basically passes off. She becomes like a Taylor Swift kind of pop star and passes off the light show as it's a special effect. It's a special effect for the concert,
Makes sense.
So she does this for like a number of years. She gets like quite the following, and in fact, in the 80s in the X-Men comics, a club that she's playing at is attacked by the Hellfire Club. It was a big villainous thing for a while, and Cyclops takes her aside after saving after everyone is safe, and is like, haven't you ever wondered where your powers came from or how to control them better and want to make a difference? And her response is, and I quote, nope. She's not interested at all in joining the X-Men. She's perfectly fine doing her own thing.
I'm not here to be a hero, dude.
Yeah.
That's what you're for.
Yep. I'm totally cool. I'm totally cool. She does eventually join the X-Men, in the 80s, and, has a couple of on and off romances. That's fine. That's all well and good. For the most part, though, she's basically kind of stuck to herself. She's had a few miniseries, kind of flaring popularity where people were like, oh, yeah, Dazzler's really cool. And then the miniseries comes and goes, and back to the minor leagues, She does tend to hang out with similarly flamboyant characters like Longshot, who she's had like a long-running relationship with. He's a whole other thing. We'll get to him another time. Longshot is something. That's a special one. But I think her biggest, contribution to the X-Men comics was when the X-Men moved to San Francisco in like the late aughts, early 2010s. Where they decided, you know what, New York hates us, and there's all these superheroes in New York that won't freaking stand up for us, so let's just go to San Francisco, let's make our own little mutant utopia. San Francisco is really accepting of like many different lifestyles, so why not mutants? And it works out pretty well for a while. You know, there's one point where, you know, she's helping deal with like a massive battle on the streets of San Francisco, and she's able to absorb all of the sound from the city. All of it.
So the city's finally quiet?
Finally quiet, and then she uses it to create like a beam of light that can burn the right side of a villain's face off.
Huh.
Yeah. Dazzler is not a joke character whenever she's taken seriously. And then you've got the jokey books like, you know, Exterminators, which we've talked about here on the show, where it is established that Dazzler has a dump truck ass and likes putting opponents in fights in the Boston Crab wrestling maneuver, which is, if you don't know what that is, just Google Boston Crab. I can't describe it for you. But, you know, I mean, she's always, to me, been like a really fun character, you know, and anytime she shows up in a particular comic, it at least gets my attention. I know that there was a long-standing rumor before Deadpool and Wolverine that Taylor Swift would play Dazzler, because why not? And it didn't happen, because it was never going to happen. As far as we know, there's no plans to introduce Dazzler to the Marvel Cinematic Universe in any way, shape, or form.
Well, and why would Taylor Swift take a cut and pay?
That's true. Now, it is worth noting that Dazzler is a little bit different in a few of the different adaptations of the X-Men. Like, there was a mini-series called Age of Apocalypse where she was actually a chain smoker who used her powers more like Green Lantern, creating hard light constructs. There is X-Men Battle of the Atom, where she becomes the first mutant president of the United States.
Makes sense.
And then is assassinated by flying demons.
Of course she is.
Because, yeah.
Can't have nice things if those nice things are women.
Mm-hmm. In the Earth X timeline, Mephisto is her ultimate villain. In the House of M reality, she is one of the most famous mutants on Earth, but that's because in the House of M reality, mutants are popular and humans are not. Scarlet Witch had enough of that, and so she just changed reality for a bit. House of M that's a ride, too. We might talk about that in the future. But yeah, I mean, that's the smallest way possible that I can condense a publication history that goes all the way back to 1979. Dazzler is kind of like Jubilee in that both use light-based powers. Both are kind of underappreciated by fandoms, or at least by like pop culture, and both are actually secret powerhouses. So, yeah, if you see like a Dazzler book on the shelves, give it a look. I think you'll find something fun there.
Huh. Neat.
Yeah. So that's all I've got. You're done?
I'm tapped out.
You're good. All right. Well, again, big thank you to our sponsor, Gamefly. And, of course, you can sign up for a free 30-day trial at geekcavepodcast.com. While you're at the website, take a look at our Extra Life effort, because, boy, game day's coming up real fast.
It's coming up fast.
It's coming up real fast, and we are going to be pushing that real heavy in the next couple of months, but you can go ahead and get in on supporting it. It's raising money for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. We'll announce a bunch of prizes when we get closer, but we're just always grateful for your support. So I think that's going to do it for the comic segment. Don't forget, the gaming segment is tomorrow. Movie segment is the day after that. And otherwise, check out geekcavepodcast.com for other podcasts, for news, for reviews, not seen, not heard on the podcast, links to our social media, join our Discord, and remember, everyone is a geek for something.